Alright guys, it is the final day of 80s week, so thank you all so much for tuning in, watching all the videos, getting your 80s on, and a big request from you guys was would I share something from the actual course. So if you don't have the course yet, today is the final day to snag it, 70% off, you can still get it, that will be linked down below for you. And today I'm going to show you a true hidden gem inside of 80s shred guitar. Now, something I always thought that was so cool in 80s guitar was when these guys would do these speed runs into very melodic lines. Most of our favorite players like Paul Gilbert, Nuno Bettencourt does this a ton, and of course, the underrated Kee Marcello. So this is actually taken from the Kee Marcello section of the course. If you dig anything from this, this is what the whole course is about. It's about these long extended phrases in the style of 10 different players. So, like I said, I will link all that stuff down below. I hope you dig this. Like I said, this is one of my favorite things of the 80s. Big old scale run into a melodic line, speed picking, all that stuff. Some of the licks are easier than this one. Some of them are more difficult. It's kind of spread all over the place, probably a little bit more in the intermediate range of guitar playing. So other than that, have a good rest of your 80s weekend, and then I'll see you all later. Bye, homies. Whoop. Alright, so we are on to Kee Marcello, and I thought about having John Norum in here as well, but I know just for myself, Kee had a really big impact on the way that I like to play guitar, and if you're coming from the Jake E. Lee lesson, it's kind of cool because there's some similar ideas here about running through scales, and like I said, I know some people do not like that sound, but if you like 80s, I guarantee you like it, because there were just so many guys like Paul Gilbert, like which he's in here later. A lot of them had ideas like that where they just kind of like would do a speed run up to a scale into something very melodic. And by far, my favorite guy who did this was Kee Marcello. So again, if you like Europe, or if you haven't really checked out Europe, check them out. And this one, I try to take all of my favorite elements of Kee's playing, which he's very melodic, he's very technical at times with how he plays speed. And one of the coolest things that Kee does that I really stole from him was these varying degrees of speed in one run. So what I mean by that is, and you'll see when I do it here in a second, he'll play like a scale run, but it won't be all the same speed. It'll be like, halfway through he speeds up. I can't remember the classical terminology for this. I should have looked it up, but he says he has an instructional video and he says it in there. But anyway, so this one starts off, this one is major. That's another thing I liked about Kee's playing was he played in major scales and major keys a lot. So yeah. And I'm just thinking A major for all of this one. So now we're going to start on 12th fret of the A, and we're going to do exactly what I was talking about, a slight little burst of speed into a melodic line. So we're going to go 12, 14, 16, 12, 14, 16 on the D. So 12, 14, 16 on the A, 12, 14, 16 on the D, 13, 14, 16 on the G. Now here's where the melodic lines start. So we ended up 16, you end up playing 16 again. So 14, 13, 14, 13, 14 on the D. So you have right there. And I just love that sound. And like I said, if you got this course, obviously you're digging the 80s. And I would bet money that you like the way that stuff sounds too, because I was always like, that's the coolest thing ever, man. Kee Marcello's the best. So now go down here. Again, Kee had amazing bends, always in tune, killer vibrato, and he would do a lot of these almost like kind of rock and roll double stop country-ish bends in his playing, and I always thought that was cool. So you have shifting down, you're gonna go to 12 on the B. Okay, and then you take your pinky and you get 12 on the high E string. So I'm bending with my ring finger, bend it up, and pull off that 12 to 10. So now the next one here is very similar to how we kicked off the beginning. So you're gonna go. But you notice there's more notes. We have to fit more notes in the same amount of time. So this time we're going. And you notice how I'm getting faster. I start off and it's like a burst of speed right in the middle of it. So and that's what Key would do that always sounded so cool. So I'm going to go 14, 16, 18 on the D, 14, 16, 18 on the G. Then I go to the B string. Let's do this section again. So I'm going to go 14, 16, 18 on the D, 14, 18, 16. No. Jeez. Okay, so I'm going to go 14, 16, 18 on the D, 14, 16, 18 on the G, hop over to the B string, and I'm going to go 15, 17, 19, and the high string is going to go 16, 17, 19. So, and I do the exact same melodic line that I did, but an octave higher. Again, another key trait of Key Marcello is he would repeat these melodic phrases up an octave. I mean, again, a very classic 80s technique. Joe Satriani did this a lot as well. So we're up here at 19. I'd play it again. 17, 16, 17. Back to 16. So back to 16, and I'm going to go 19 on the B this time to 17 on the B. So now from here we have another speed run, and this is another one where I get gradually faster as I play it. So slow it will look like this, then I'll break down the individual notes. Now that would be that lick slow, but when I played up to speed, like I said, I played the last part faster than how I started the lick. And I'm starting off here with simply going, it was a 17 pull off to 16 on the high string. And then on the B string, I'm going to go 19, 17, 15. So then back to 17, back to 19 on the B. So on the high string, I'm going to go 16, 17, 19. So 17, 16. So I'm going to go back to the B string. I'm going to go 19, 17, 15. So let's get that much of it down so far. So okay, now you're going to go back to 17, back to 19, 17, 15 on that B string. So now you're going to go to the G, and you're going to play 18 on the G, 16, 14, back to 16, back to 18, 16, 14. So you have go to the D string, do the exact same thing. 18, 16, 14, 18, 19, or sorry, 18. And you go to the G, 14, 16, 18, and you end on 14. I know it can be confusing, especially when someone's just shouting out the numbers the whole time. But check the tabs to get that lick totally into your fingers, because it flows better than what I was probably talking, explaining it. And again, the way I'm doing it is I gradually get faster. And that's the key Marcelo section. So let's kind of recap. The key points here is this concept of running into a melodic line, starting low, getting higher. You have cool little melodic-y bends. Another run with varying speeds. That is probably the biggest thing I want you to take away from this. It's the biggest thing I got from, Key was his, melodic sense, and then these varying speeds inside of a scale run. I was just like, that is amazing. It takes a lot of control and dynamics in your left and right hand. So spend a lot of time working on that one. And then, of course, cool melodic lines, use your octaves, and then create a cool pattern. You notice I kicked this one off the same exact way that we did the Jakey Lee one. 2 different sounds. So you will have a lot of fun with that one. All right, that is going to be it. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Like I said before, check out the course while you can. It's on sale. That will be linked down below for you. And other than that, I'm going to bounce on out of here, get your 80s on, and see you all next week with some more videos. Normal videos. These won't be 80s anymore, but, 80s, it lives right here, right in our hearts. So, bye, guys.